Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world. Today we're diving into a Form 8K filing from Hughes Holdings. And let me tell you, it's not as boring as it sounds. It's about executive pay and some behind the scenes drama. Think of it as the corporate version of Succession, but with less yachts and more paperwork. So what's the filing about? It's about changes to the employment agreements of some top executives and a key executive leaving. Usually these reports deal with significant events for a company, and this one is no exception. Let's see what's cooking at Hughes Holdings. Alright, first up we have amendments to employment agreements. That is, some bosses got their contracts changed. This involves David O'Reilly, Carlos Olea, and Joseph Villan. They all got a little something extra. Let's break it down. Basically, Hughes is tweaking the definition of good reason for these executives. Good reason usually means under what circumstances the bosses can quit and still get paid. This change in definition is for them to be compensated if there are organizational changes. They're also adding a definition for transaction. This is any event where someone gains 40% or more ownership of the company. This also includes change of ownership, control of securities, and other things the board might define as a transaction. This addition seems like a hedge to protect these executives in case of a takeover or big investment. Here's the juicy part. The agreements now include provisions for compensation and benefits if the executives are terminated within 2 years after a transaction. Think of it as a golden parachute, ensuring they are taken care of if a new owner comes in and shakes things up. O'Reilly and Olea are getting their employment extended to the end of 2028, matching Joseph Villan's everyone's contracts, and suggests a stable leadership plan at least for the next few years. David O'Reilly is getting a bump in his annual bonus. His long-term incentive plan award jumps to $4.5 million. This is a pretty significant increase and signals that the company values his contributions. Makes you wonder what exactly he's bringing to the table, or maybe they just want to make sure he doesn't jump ship. Now for the exit, LJ Cross, the president, is leaving. His employment agreement won't be renewed when it expires in December of 2025. So it looks like he's out by the end of next year. If you want to read the document yourself, here are the relevant exhibits. The Villan agreement, so what does it all mean? Hughes Holdings is essentially securing its key players with these contract tweaks. The transaction clause and the golden parachutes suggest they're preparing for potential changes in ownership or control. Maybe they see a merger or control, maybe they see a merger or control. Maybe they see a merger or acquisition on the horizon. Or perhaps they just want to be ready in case one comes along. The departure of LJ Cross is also noteworthy. While it's framed as a mutual agreement not to renew, it does raise questions about the company's direction. Are they planning a strategic shift? Is there a disagreement on how to move forward? We don't know the full story, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Overall, this filing paints a picture of a company in transition. They're rewarding some executives, preparing for potential changes, and parting ways with another. It's a mix of stability and uncertainty, which is pretty common in the corporate world. Is Hughes a buy? Well, it's tricky. The executive changes could be a sign of positive transformation or underlying issues. It depends on your risk tolerance and your belief in the company's long-term strategy. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give us a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more corporate deep dives.